Our story begins in January of 2020. You remember January 2020? It was a simpler time. It was easier days where all we had to do was go to work. Remember, we used to go outside? We used to be able to go outside. That was so cool. And then the world ended. And it seemed like the world ended. And everybody was trapped into their gilded cage that they call a house. And but back in the good old days of January 2020, one of the biggest deals on the internet was that Tessa Blanchard, the day before she was to become world heavyweight champion of Impact Wrestling, was accused of being a bully and a racist by Sienna or Allison Kay, depending on what gimmick what territory she's working. And she was said that she was bullying and a racist towards La Rosa Negra, or the Black Rose, a Puerto Rican and black female wrestler in Japan. And all of these women came out. All of the Chelsea Green, Isla Dong, Shanna, and so many others came out and said that I saw this. I was a witness to this. It happened. And Tessa Blanchard said, nope, no, it didn't. Didn't happen. So what did Impact do? Well, Impact gave Tessa Blanchard the world heavyweight title and apparently fucked off, and everybody was like, oh, well, no big deal. So that's where our story kind of begins, because this is not just a story of Tessa Blanchard getting canned from Impact Wrestling. This is how Tessa Blanchard stabbed Impact Wrestling in the back. Oh, yes. Oh, I taste it on my lips. Her betrayal is on my lips. Unreal. After the entire wrestling world wanted her not only sacked from the world title match at Hard to Kill, which took place on, I don't know what date. Who cares? It was in 2020. It was like January 12th, I think. And so many fans wanted her fired. Impact stuck with her. Specifically, Gail Kim really wanted to keep wanted that momentous moment, that first women's world champion in wrestling. They wanted to do it so badly, even though they weren't the first to do it, because Lucha Underground did it. But Lucha Underground's title wasn't considered a real world title. And then Lucha Six Stars only the champion for like a week anyway. But even though they wanted it so bad, and Gail Kim wanted to have a feminist moment so bad that they stuck with her. And then the pandemic happened. And then Tessa Blanchard went to Mexico, never to return. April 2020, Tessa Blanchard blows off the Rebellion event. The Rebellion event was supposed to be a 2-week pay-per-view style event, similar to NXT's Great American Bash or AEW's Fyter Fest. I think the Bash at the Beach was also a 2-week event. So it's going to be like one taping episode of Impact, but it was going to be cut into 2-hour blocks and put on and take place of the show. She blew that off. She was supposed to defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards. She fucked off to Mexico. Claimed she didn't want to travel during the pandemic. Perfectly reasonable. 2 months later, in June 2020, that excuse is the same. She does now. No, hold on. Not only did she not only want to travel during the pandemic, she didn't even want to do promos during the pandemic. She didn't even want to send recordings during the pandemic. She couldn't even get that part right. So she just said, hey, look, fuck these guys. Now, to Impact, deep down in its heart, is still TNA. And TNA is synonymous with fucking up, okay? Everything about TNA is totally fucked up. It is a 3-legged table at all times. But, and because TNA is a 3-legged table at all times, the contract that Tessa Blanchard was signed to was actually going to expire before Slammiversary. So Slammiversary is July the 18th. So maybe at some point the 17th or the 16th or whatever. And they were going to have to sign an extension so that she can come in the country to drop the title. Then Tessa just said, fuck it. I'm not doing that either. Not going to do that. not going to sign an extension so I can drop your world title. Not going to do it. So, not going to do promos. Not going to sign an extension to come drop the title. Likely not going to come drop the title. They had to fire her. Took them long enough, right? So, they supported her when she was being canceled, which is what we want. Like, well, people on my side of the internet, you know, the truth, and some people who have a concept of justice. It is not fair that people wanted to cancel Tessa Blanchard over allegations, even though the allegations ended up being confirmed by, you know, La Rosa Negra, who was there. She said, hey, I was the person she was cussing at and said the N-word to and all that stuff. And I believe her because Rosa was just such a nice girl. She didn't seem to have a vendetta. She didn't want to bring it up. She didn't really want to talk about it. So I believed her. And Impact, including, well, not just, it was Gail Kim, number one. Number two, D'Lo Brown. And there were others that supported Tessa Blanchard during all this nonsense. They had her back. They made her the face of their company. And then when they needed her, she told them to go fuck themselves. That's classic shit. That is Shawn Michaels and 95 shit. Okay? Well, not maybe Shawn Michaels in 94. Okay? That is classic asshole behavior. It's the kind of behavior that you kind of want from a world champion. Okay? You kind of want that from a top guy. You're like, hey, look, I'm not fucking around in this pandemic. Fuck you. I'm out of here. But the problem is, it's coming from Tessa fucking Blanchard, who has a history of racism and bullying going back to that's why she didn't get hired in WWE in the first place. They said she had a bad attitude. So Tessa Blanchard's reputation is now just shredded, right? So she's essentially the girl version of Teddy Hart. You know, Teddy Hart WWE loves nepotism, and so do many other wrestling companies. They love to say the son of, the daughter of, the uncle of blank wrestler. Even if you don't know who blank wrestler is, it still sounds important, right? Like, oh, that's the cousin of Scrap Iron Gdarsky. Oh, I can't believe it. You know, that's Mike Jackson's nephew. Ooh, like, who the fuck? You might not even know who that guy is. But ultimately, Tessa Blanchard has the golden plate. WWE is like, hey, there is so much money to be made in a Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte feud. And because of Tessa's attitude, it will probably never happen. So, Tessa Blanchard has been fired from Impact. And will she sign with the WWE? Probably not. Not unless they send her through like the gamut of different training sessions. She's going to get HR'd to death. You know, she's just, started is not going to be anytime soon because she's not going to leave Mexico. She's like, fuck it, I'm down here in the sun. I'm not coming back to the States. Y'all crazy up there. And I'm not mad at you. You know, and then it's crazy because a lot of the people who are celebrating Tessa Blanchard getting fired, they don't want wrestlers performing during the pandemic. They're kind of like, Sami Zayn didn't want to come. Kevin Owens didn't want to come. Roman Reigns didn't want to come. A bunch of other people don't want to come. They cheering. Yay, you don't come. Yes, that's good. Tessa Blanchard doesn't want to come. Just because they don't like her, they like, boo, Tessa Blanchard. Whoa, what's wrong with you? Me, I'm at the point where I think you should stick with the company who stuck with you. That's my opinion. The company stood by you when you were being canceled on Twitter by some of your female peers, and the company stood with you and said, we're not gonna bend to the mob. We're gonna stick with our plan. Tessa Blanchard is going to be the world champion, rightly or wrongly, and I think it's 100% wrong. It was 100% stupid to make a woman a men's world champion, and I'm not going to go into that. It was fucking stupid. But they stuck with their plan. They didn't let the cancel culture win. They stuck with their plan. And then they were summarily spit in the face for it, which is what they deserve. That's what you deserve. Okay? It's what you deserve. But I'm more on the side of, hey, stick with the company that not only pays you and was paying you to sit at home for 4 fucking months or whatever, but also, again, who believed in you and people who put their reputations on the line for you, not just the company itself, but for Gail Kim, for D'Lo Brown. You could have made this one trip, did the fucking job, and dropped the fucking title, and never had to do anything and shit again. Pay it forward, you know? And the reason why I say Impact deserves it is, again, for making a woman the world champion. It was fucking dumb. That's why they deserve it, for no other reason. Because at Impact, their heart is still TNA. And now the Slammiversary main event, which was at first a 5-person, is now down to 3 because Michael Elgin got himself all caught up in some speaking out drama. So he's suspended. Tessa's fired, and Michael Elgin is suspended. So this company, TNA, it's TNA at its heart, baby. It'll always be TNA. You can call it Global Force. You can call it Total Nonstop Action, NWA, TNA. You can call it whatever you want. You could change it and rebrand it, bring in the owl. You could do whatever you want. A leopard. If you cut off the legs and the tail of a kitten, it's still a kitten. You can change the name of this company as much as you want. It is still fucking TNA. And just like TNA, it is a permanent 3-legged table. But for Tessa Blanchard, who knows what's next? I don't think WWE touches her anytime soon. She's young. She's only 24. She has opportunities ahead of her. She's probably gonna. She can work Mexico. AAA assign her or something like that. CMLL or do something with her or whatever. You know, they do intergender wrestling and stuff all the time. WWE is not about that. AEW, I don't think they've shown that they're willing to do intergender matches yet. But who knows? And quite frankly, who gives a fuck? After you stiff the company that supported you, who really cares? Right? Who really gives a shit? So that's my take. Tessa Blanchard got fired. Deservedly so. Deservedly so. Both of them, Impact and Tessa Blanchard, deserve each other because they're both fuck ups. Like this video, share this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Subscribe to my channel as well if you're not listening. Please subscribe. I should have more subscribers. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later.